a meme, bro, I will fucking like obliterate you.
You don't know.
Into the fucking madness. But you're so lucky that I'm so fucking nice.
Is she nice?
Bro.
You're so fucking lucky.
But that's why I feel this way, because I hold it in, like I hold that shit in. I'm like, bro, I could fucking end you mentally. Like, but I choose not to, because I choose love, because it's a choice. Exactly, it's a fucking choice, yo.
That's hilarious.
Like, but that's the thing. My ego. We all have an ego,
no,
and we
sure.
all want to act out on it. Why did we all freeze? Hi everyone.
What's up, guys?
Hello friends. Welcome back to Mental Chillness. Welcome back to the motherfucking number one mental health podcast, baby. We have a very special guest today. We actually have two, as you can see, Carmen's right here. We also have Jencel. I know.
He's so sweet.
Dude, I'm not gonna have him for much longer, so I'm like really fucking. It's like literally, I'm treating it as if we're both dying. So like every day, I'm like, Carmen, I love you so much, buddy.
I know it's getting serious when I go on her Instagram and she's literally like posting her in the bathroom and he's standing right there and she's just like petting him. I'm like,
dude, it's like the most I've ever enjoyed, like invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
Like this is probably the
only way that I appreciate it.
Exactly. It's the only form of intimacy that I can actually handle right now. So
I would completely feel that. My dog is the same way. I'm like, come give me all the cuddles, all the kisses.
Dude, I love that he's just like cuddling on you.
I love it too.
So
You're
fucking
just so
funny.
sweet, Bobby. You're just so sweet. This is what I do with Margot. Oh.
What is it about like animals that make you go into like your little puppy voice? Like that shit is the most like annoying shit ever to hear it from somebody else, but like when you're doing it, you're like,
I know, like this is a baby.
same every
It's like regardless, it's always a baby. It's always a
But what's up, guys? And we are your hosts. We are your fairy buff mothers.
oh wait, my shirt.
There we go.
My shirt is short enough.
I'm Jules.
And I'm Con, and we
forgetting
have
there.
Jencel, which is another fairy buff mother in the
little
house.
bit. She is.
No, I try.
She is.
We got like slim thick mothers in here.
No, for sure.
Like our guests are like slim thick mothers, and we
For
know
sure.
How's everybody doing?
Doing good today. Doing really good.
I'm doing well as well.
I'm glad. Shawty was not so hot yesterday,
Yeah,
bro.
I mean,
I
we had
wasn't.
moments.
It was
But it's
so
okay.
Yo, fucking okay, first of all, I'm gonna need to know what the fuck like causes seizures and all of these random things that Jules is like having, because it's like shocking, bro. I'll be like just at work and then I go home. This is literally what happened last night. I'm at work. Jules texted me about the outline and I'm like, it's not finished. I'm still working. I'm literally working like fucking 12 hours.
Working while she's working.
And then I come
she's
home
a
and I'm
hard
like
worker.
fucking just like sitting here smoking, and I go on Jules' story and she's like having a story about her seizure, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was on my close friends though, because not everybody gets to see that part.
Yeah.
But it was just like a time, I guess, where I was just feeling like a little bit alone, and it just gets hard sometimes because waking up from the seizure, everybody's so like, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
How did you go through?" And it was one of my friends' first time ever seeing me have a seizure. Catherine.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
somebody
it was.
there.
Yeah, it was my friend Catherine, but it was at my house.
Okay.
So, and she was just like scared. She was like, I woke up and she was crying, and she was like, "That's what it looks like." Like, yeah.
So it's like, was it a full like grandma?
Yeah, like my tongue right now. I'm gonna be talking a little funny, guys. It's because I bit my tongue. Like, look.
Dude,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Show
I
the
get the
audience.
shit.
I know. Oh man.
So
How long
yeah.
have you?
I got diagnosed when I was 17, and I don't know why. And the reason they told me that I get seizures because of lack of sleep and stress. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. Doesn't everybody go through that?
I
Shouldn't
know.
everybody be walking around like?
Oh my god, that's so
Yeah.
crazy.
So it's just something in my brain.
Yeah, I actually never actually knew anything about epilepsy until I like reconnected with Jules. Yeah, and it's like fucking scary because like I literally don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And especially when she's like texting me that she's having a seizure in her house and I'm like here.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
well, what are
call me or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like what are the best ways to be able to be there for you?
Honestly, one thing I am gonna say: please do not stick a spoon in my mouth. Please do not stick.
Is that a
spoon.
stigma?
That's a stigma. That is not real.
Why is that a stigma?
I don't know. People think that it's. People think that we can.
From choking, right?
People think that we can fully swallow our tongues, but it's impossible. I cannot sit here and be like, like it's not a real thing. So, and I wish people could probably. Yeah, no, for sure. Listen, Panera, I don't know, but I feel like people always thought, oh my God, can't you swallow your tongue? But then from there, it's just like everybody heard that, so then that's what they, oh my God, put a spoon in her mouth. I can bite that spoon off.
Oh my God.
Like in the heat of the moment, my whole body and everything is just like literally seizing.
Where are you when you seize, headspace wise?
I'm unconscious.
Completely.
Yeah. Even after my seizures, I'm unconscious for about like 5 minutes. 5 to 2 minutes, it depends.
Okay. Would you categorize it like a state of sleepiness?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not, like, I'm still breathing, I'm still here, but I'm just like literally unconscious.
Wow. That's
So people that have never seen it before are like, she's dead. Call an ambulance. And then I wake up in the ambulance and I'm like, I wish I could have just came back and told you, bro, just wait. Now just
I don't want to pay this $1,000 fucking dollar. Don't call it. No fucking ambulance.
$3,000 later, I'm like, bro.
Dog, it's really fucking expensive, bro. It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. So usually people will call an ambulance when you're unconscious after you're done seizing because they're like, she's not waking up.
They think that like I
Wow.
Yeah, because afterwards I get unconscious 3 to 5 minutes. And I either start gagging or like, and people are like, oh my God, she's definitely, this is it. Like I did the wrong thing. But the first thing you do when you see somebody about to either you see them, their arms like tensing up or anything happening, turn them to their side.
I was gonna ask, is that something?
That's the first thing you
as
should
they're
do.
laying, right? Like
Turn them to the side and just make sure that they don't hurt themselves.
Yeah.
Any side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any side.
Oh my God.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop,
Roll
and
that
roll.
bitch.
No, for sure. So it's like, yeah, but it's.
What is your mental state at like after you're recovering or while you're recovering? Because like I've like known that you've had this like for this whole time, but your story yesterday, what you said in your story is that like it can feel so lonely having like this disorder.
Yeah.
But I never thought of it in that point of view because while you're seizing and you're having this experience yourself, everyone is having a different experience watching you, so no one is actually feeling you.
Yeah.
So I never like just actually consider like that side of having it. So like what is your mentality while you're in recovery? Like does it get really bad? Like what do you think about? How do you like kind of pull yourself out of like
I feel like for me it gets very lonely because there's days where I have to work and I can't go into work. There's days where I've made plans and I can't go to the plans. And I feel like I can't really be fully on my own, even yet being 24, about to be 25. I can be on my own and I know that I can, but physically like living on my own would be very, very hard for me. So I know that even though I'm in a room full of people and people can understand and people can have that sympathy for me, the feeling of waking up from a seizure and then everybody's like, oh my God, okay, you're okay. And then I still have to go through this pain and the physical toll on your body. I feel like I ran like 5 marathons. It's like I sleep for the whole day. I wake up the next day still so foggy. It takes me like about almost 2 to 3 days to fully feel back to myself. And even then, people can still have so much sympathy but it's like, there's days where sometimes people can't come and sit with me while I have my seizures. I have to be by myself. So it's like, it just gets, mentally, it's just scary because I can't hurt myself and hurt someone else in the process. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's scary. Like, that's the best way to put it. Like, I believe in myself, and I'm so grateful that I can feel my seizures 15 to 10 minutes before I have them.
Wow.
but it's still so scary. Like, it doesn't get any less scary the older I get.
Yeah, or
I'm
like
so sorry.
It
that
just-
that's something you
yeah.
experienced.
No, it's okay. Like,
But the fact that you have to live with that is something that I just know personally, it's really hard to like put onto other people, and you never want to feel as if you are ever burdening someone. And the more that I go through life is understanding that the people in your life are not burdened by you.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to accept that, because myself, I'm trying to get to that place where I'm able to communicate what I'm going through and feel as if I'm not putting a weight on other people, because we're trying to put on ourselves and do things on our own, and you feel like almost what it sounds like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, like you want this level of independence but yet have this level of dependency because you're afraid to be alone, and you're afraid of what's going to happen because it's almost just unknown. I mean, every day is spontaneous.
Yeah.
We have to walk through whatever it is the day offers us, and for you that can be extremely heavy.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine the magnitude of what you experience, because it's all of what I feel like I feel on a different basis emotionally, but then to carry this physical condition, and that's why I'm just really sorry that that's an additional part. But I'm sure that you do have people in your life that care so much and want to be there for you. It's just like balancing the emotional toll that it also takes and the physical toll, because it takes so much time to recover. You're really strong for that.
Thank you. Seriously, that
Epilepsy
means so much.
shawty, baby. Let's go. She's the baddest epilepsy shawty ever.
I don't think I've ever met someone with epilepsy, so I really appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
And I just, wow.
And I feel like, because I know I follow this one girl on TikTok, and she has epilepsy, and I think she's almost 30 now. And she has a husband, though, and she has a dog that can literally feel her seizures. And the thing is, the dogs are so expensive. Insurance pays for some of it. I finally just got Obamacare, so I have insurance now. Your girl's insured.
Yes.
But I really need to start looking for dogs, because I don't want to always live with like roommates and stuff,
Yeah,
of course.
No, absolutely.
It's like,
the more independent and the more we grow, the more we just want
the more
to
privacy we want.
Absolutely. Wow,
So,
that's incredible.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm glad you
I'm here too.
recovered.
Seriously, yeah, me too.
Yeah,
100%.
definitely.
Yeah.
Me and you were on some shit today. She showed up with her buns, and I was like, whoa.
No, literally.
So cute. I was like, what?
I opened the
What's
door
her
and we
butt?
had like the same instant
so
reaction.
funny.
We were like, oh shit.
That's
so
hilarious.
Yeah.
As you can tell, everybody, we are on YouTube, baby. That's why you're seeing all of our faces. So please help us by subscribing, sharing this to your friends, leave us a comment, a rating. All of this will help us just boost ourselves into the algorithm and just help share the pod with everybody else. The algorithm, the devil.
Yeah, in a way.
I literally feel like I'm healing my inner child. This is so, because as a kid, I would always be like and subscribe to my YouTube channel.
I
Even
know.
though I was like posting it on like
posting
Facebook.
it to anything.
Oh my god. So
honestly, I feel like Jules just has
this
like
is
a
unreal.
TV personality.
I do.
Like
That's
and she like knows it. That's why we're purely doing YouTube content for her. Okay, it's not even for you guys.
Yeah.
She matters
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah.
really good. And then you're just introducing new things into your lives and then into the podcast. I mean, it's a year that you guys have been doing this,
I
so that's
know.
amazing.
Our baby's a year, so grown.
And you just always
Already
want to
walking.
do something new, yeah. So crazy.
And I feel like sometimes I get into this space of like, well, this morning actually, I was like, bro, I want to quit so bad, but I don't. And I only want to quit so bad because like there is so much work to be done.
Yeah.
And you're not even near where you want this to be or where it could be. You're just literally in the beginning of it. So you know that you have to deal with all of this shit because it's gonna be worth it in the end. But like while you're in it, you're like, what the actual fuck is happening right now? Like, and like, it's so funny. I had this moment. I was like, I remember I said it on the podcast too. I was like, I refuse to be a broke artist. Like, all my life, I have refused to be a broke artist. And I have always supported myself up until, like, now. And now I realize that I'm eating my own words because when I said I refuse to be a broke artist, I meant it in a way of where, like, I won't live a life where I can't support myself, like, with my bills, with my shelter, like, all of that shit, just to sacrifice, like, the means to make art. Like, that's what I mean, right? Because I don't have that luxury of just, like, letting it go or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? I'm also, like, an immigrant fucking child, so, like, immigrant children don't have that luxury of, like, not taking care of shit, you know what I'm saying? But, like, fast forwards to now, I am a fucking broke artist because even though I have a shelter over my head and I have everything in my daily life that I can, like, and I'm providing it for myself, I'm literally broke as shit because all of it is going towards my dreams. And so, like, I am, like, in this big moment where I'm like,
she's like, hold on.
it's okay. Like, it's okay that I'm eating my own words because I'm learning the better lesson, which is, like, this is, like, where everybody got to where they find a form of art where it's worth it to sacrifice everything for. And I'm here right now. And I want to quit so bad, but I don't.
I completely resonate. Like, I feel you on a different level because it's just so true. Life is exhausting.
Dude.
And then you're trying to accomplish what
Where's
it feels
this pillow?
like.
This is how I've been feeling the entire time.
I have one of those, like, interchangeable plush ones.
Yes.
Because it, like, categorizes exactly. It's just like, this is a great day, or this is such a draining day, because you're just trying to do what feels right for you internally and whatever is your values and how you create and how you show up in this world. But it's so exhausting because we have to navigate other people and we have to navigate different
and then consider
views,
their feelings.
And like that feels like I've always
tough.
done that in my life, is always considering other people's feelings and balancing and finding your path and what it is that's going to be right for you. And then there's moments where you do just want to give up, but it's like it's too late. Like, I've already come this far.
That's why, like, we're a year into this, bitch. You're gonna quit now?
No, you can't. Like, you have to just keep going through whatever the storms are, and then, like you said, it's taking those moments to really just be observant and reflect and take every even negative experience as a learning opportunity. And that's my biggest thing of where I'm at in life, is just sitting back and be a little bit more observant so that I can learn from those turbulent situations, because it's not always going to be easy, especially when you're trying to fulfill the things that you want to do. It's going to come with challenges, and you're going to have to be able to be put in your place and learn exactly what you want to do and what you don't want to do moving forward. It's just always learning, especially about yourself.
Exactly.
Sure.
What does make it worth it, though, is, like, okay, this is gonna be really fucking cheesy, bitch, but
I know what you're gonna say, because
like,
I feel it.
Bro, what really, like, truly, what really does make it worth it is this is an opportunity for me to open myself up and use this platform to reach out and to reconnect and to connect in the first place in a way where I'm comfortable and trusting enough to do it. So, like, say, regular life, I don't have my podcast, I would never be inclined enough to reach out to old friends or to whatever, just because I'm in my head about where they're at in their life, where I'm at in my life, if we're bothering each other, this and that, you know what I'm saying? But this podcast gives me an opportunity to reach out to everybody that I am not necessarily connected to, but am keeping up with, and admire and inspired by, and all of that shit. And I get to use this as a way of, like, hey, let's talk. Can we be friends?
And it's so true, because I mean, just as humans, we long for a feeling of connection and belonging and just wanting to reach out to people. It's the most beautiful and empowering thing. Our relationships, I mean, connections are everything, and then we stray away from them because we get in our heads and we're like, oh my god, what are they thinking, what am I thinking? And we're all so much more alike than we are different, and it's something that I'm trying to learn and grasp on. And it's hard to then reach out to people and not receive that same type of energy that you put out, because we just want to have our energies be matched. But ultimately, putting ourselves out there is finding ourselves in that level of connection, and it's so hard. It's it's so hard because you just want it to be received in
Yeah,
that same way.
like, and it's difficult when it's like it's not reciprocated, but you're in like a state of awareness to where you know you can't take it out on anybody because that's just how life works. So you have to just accept and like take the L, bro. I'm literally in this spot right now. I was literally writing in my fucking notes like I accept this L. Like I surrender and I take this loss like so
like,
fucking hard because if I don't surrender to it, bro, I will spend all of my time fighting like why my ego feels the way that it does. Because it's all ego.
Right. You
it's
have to
all
move
ego.
through it.
Yeah.
You have to let go and, like you said, surrender to whatever happened because every day is a new day and we have to just the person that we're trying to become is the person who we are as long as we're taking action to do that. And even though we might have made mistakes yesterday, we're human. We're allowed to make mistakes, but we also have to give ourselves grace, which I'm so bad at.
I know.
I'm so bad because we're our worst critics, you know? We
I
give
know.
ourselves the most criticism, and it's because we have such high expectations. And for me, it's because I know that I'm such capable of this magnitude of love that I want to be able to share that with other people. And it's like with that, there's the possibility of getting hurt.
Yeah, and there are people that take advantage of it, and there are people that move through the world that chooses to operate the way that they do without consideration, without reciprocation, and they are the takers. There are people that literally operates like they are takers,
They take your
and they
energy.
don't fucking acknowledge that either because in their mind, they are blunt, true to themselves, whatever it is that they decide to call themselves so that they don't have to actually work on anything when it comes to other people's feelings. Like, and fuck that shit, bro. I'd rather be on this end. No, I would rather be on this end, truly. I'm fighting this battle right now to where people are so fucking lucky that I am so fucking nice because you think that you're mean, bro. I will fucking like obliterate you
don't know.
into the fucking madness. But you're so lucky that I'm so fucking nice.
Is she nice?
Bro.
You're so fucking lucky.
But that's why I feel this way because I hold it in, like I hold that shit in. I'm like, bro, I could fucking end you mentally. Like, but I choose not to because I choose love because it's a choice. Exactly, it's a fucking choice, yo.
That's hilarious.
Like, but that's the thing. My ego, we all have an ego,
Oh, no,
and
for
we
sure.
all want to act out on it.
For
and my
sure.
ego wants to fucking crush you, but I won't because I'm fucking choosing love and light.
And it's such a hard decision that we have to make in life. And something that I recently heard was that compassion is not something that we do for other people. Compassion is actually something that we do for ourselves.
Yes.
Because it's the way that I love making other people feel comfortable. That is what fills me. And I just realized like I do that because I find comfort in having other people feel comfortable. Because if other people are feeling comfortable around me, then I have this level of comfort in myself. And then within that is this level of compassion that biologically fills and enlarges our hearts, and it's just walking that path is so much more fulfilling than it is to act with all of this like anger that I can unleash on you.
Wait, hold on.
It's really hard to
That
control
brings me back to the point that I wanted to make before I went off, which is that I can be the person to put you down, and I can be the person to be mean, and I can be the person to make you feel bad, but I would rather be on this end to where I'm the receiving end of it because I feel like right now my pain is learning to not take things personally, which is a pain that I would rather deal with than me being in the other position of regretting what I said, regretting how I acted, and regretting how I made the other person feel because that will stay with me longer than how this person's making me feel right now. Because that's not on my conscience. That person making me feel this way is not on my conscience, but me saying something to other people and then I regret it,
that impacts me so much more.
I die, yo.
Yeah, because
that's why I hold my tongue.
It lives with me, and then I relive these moments and I relive the conversations, and I'm like, oh my god, you just never know what someone else is experiencing in their personal lives and how my words or actions could have impacted. And that's why it's so important to walk with such intention and awareness in your life, because from my experiences, it's just you just don't know what people are going through, and I know I can handle it. Like I can handle whatever it is that's going on emotionally, physically, and I will get through it. But I don't know other people's walks of life.
Exactly.
And I could, like you said, on the receiving end, I could take it, put it onto me.
Exactly.
Let me take this on for you so that you feel better, and then
You're
you feel.
such a
but it's
good
it's a lot.
person. It's fucking crazy. Every time I hear Jencel talk, I'm like, how is she like this naturally?
Honestly, just finding a way for me to just be a servant in this world has always been. I mean, I don't necessarily know what my mission is. It's not fully clear, but I know that as long as my intent stays on how I can serve other people, and that servitude is what fills me. It's just it's better to live that way because you're able to then just learn from other people. And my biggest thing is never finding a place where we cannot stop growing.
Exactly. You're never done learning.
You're never done learning. Everybody has a story, and I learned something through Jules today, and like I don't fully, I never lived that to know, but I am now understanding of a different perspective, and I'm so grateful for that knowledge because everyone has a story. We all, and it may be similar in different ways, but they're all different. Every single story is to be heard, and through that we learn and we grow, and that's why every day we change because we live these experiences and we get to hear other people's stories, and through that we become better. We should always be trying to grow.
Exactly.
And always trying to be better. And
honestly, the goal is to just constantly grow. Like constantly, whether it's you're by yourself, whether you're with somebody, whether you're whatever
I
it
feel
is, like you should always.
There's
just keep
times
growing.
where I beat myself up because I'm not growing enough. But I feel like from where I started, I have to also remember that I'm only 24.
Yes,
Yeah.
girl.
You know what I mean? So
I
it's like I'm still gathering all the tools and putting myself around new people. So it's like I still have to give myself that
credit
that I don't have many years of experience.
But also you have to like reevaluate like the how you hold, where you hold yourself as. So like you're saying like I feel like I'm not growing enough. But what is enough?
You're
like
such a great question.
What is like your end goal? What are you measuring yourself by that you're saying is not enough?
What's the definition of enough?
Yeah, like so like you have to like constantly like reevaluate like today is a better day than yesterday. I will perform a little bit better than I did yesterday, and so like do I feel more enough today than yesterday? What are you measuring yourself by? Because sometimes I feel like you can have a goal and that is really good for you, but then you don't actually realistically apply where you are in your life, what you're doing every day, and like your situation. You just want to achieve that so bad that you forget like, I have to actually move through blocks. Like it won't just be like because I have this fucking goal in my mind.
It's never linear, and that's something that I'm having to learn too. It's never linear, but I am interested to know what your definition of enough is.
Yeah, a definition of enough. Let's see. I feel like in my life as of right now, I don't live up to my full potential. And it's something that I can speak on because I feel like is the truth. I feel like a lot of people, I let them down.
Why do you feel you let people down?
Because sometimes it just gets hard, and I feel like I'm talking more of in like a relationship and friendship, like relationship. Me being able to fill everyone's cup and fill my own.
That's huge.
Because everyone leans on me as to be a friend, and there's times where I disappear because I'm trying to fill my own needs, and then I get and then I feel like the bad friend or but I always need that time by myself.
We all do.
I feel like that's a reset of boundaries.
Yeah.
Where you hold your boundaries with yourself, where you hold boundaries with other, and what you show available to others. Yeah. Because like I feel like everybody feels that because everybody has to be a friend to somebody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that everyone does to a certain extent feel like sometimes they're not being a good enough friend because of whatever that is actually going on in their own life. But if you were to have true friends, your friends would want you to put yourself first.
Yeah.
Your friends would want you to have your shit together first. Your friend, if it was a true friend, would never want you to leave your shit to help them.
You're so right in that, and it's
You know what I'm
finding
saying?
those people that are going to support those values, because you gave a analogy of like filling the cup, and it sounds like we're like tall glass people where we have so much to give, and it's like you go around your day pouring yourself into other people, and by the end of the day you're drained. So you're almost like, who's gonna pour into me? But it's how we pour into ourselves and refill ourselves.
And then for me, I feel
recharge.
like because oh my God, I'm gonna get emotional.
I've been already emotional.
I'm on my period. The tear's gonna fall.
okay.
Whatever. Yeah. So then,
Like, I don't have
hold on. One
periods,
more thing.
I never know.
I woke up from my seizure, and my whole pants were blooded all. I looked like it was like a massacre. I got my period and I had a seizure. I was like,
Oh my God, no wonder why Catherine was like, she's dead. She's dead. She's fucking done, yo.
Was this when you were
Like, we killed her.
No. I was at my house. Yeah, but it was
Oh my
so,
God,
I'm
that's so
okay.
traumatizing.
Okay, yeah.
For everybody in the room.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh.
So I feel like friend-wise, I love my friends. Like, I love all my friends. I try to make time for all my friends, and I pour. Ready? You're not ready for this. Relationships, I expect them to pour into me.
Oh my God, that's so hard, because
So then I'm like,
how do you
why aren't you pouring into me?
Yeah,
Why aren't you
yeah,
pouring into me?
yeah.
Why aren't you pouring into me? I've been pouring into everybody else.
Not fair.
It's this level of expectation,
And then it's
and then it's so
that's
hard to
what it
balance, like
is.
whether so this is what you recently came to terms with. The difference between standards and expectations.
Yes.
And so the people that are close in my life, I have standards for.
Yeah.
And if you are going to be a part of my life, because I pour into everyone that I come across, even a perfect stranger, but if you are in my close circle, I do have standards for you.
For sure.
Expectations be another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Expectations are something that I need to have within myself.
Mhm.
But I
That's
need
what
to
you
expect.
Oh, that was so good.
I need to expect that not everyone is like me. I cannot expect people to show up the way that I show up, because that's me.
That's
I am my own
realistic
person.
expectations.
It's
That's
so
the
hard
realistic
though,
ones.
because we always get this confused, and I get it confused myself, that it's like I have these people in my life and I do have these standards, and then it's like I want them to pour into me as well, but it's not a realistic expectation. I need to take a moment and say, okay, this is a moment for me to recharge, that I need to then pour into myself, because this level of expectation is only going to lead to my own disappointment.
Exactly.
But having standards, it's something that never should be lowered, because the people in our lives should know that there is a level of how you hold yourself and how we hold ourselves,
Exactly.
and that level is the bar.
Oh, period.
You need to meet at the very least the bar, and if you are only giving me the bar,
limbo. If you can't get under that, hey.
And honestly, my standards are like, they're high, but they're also in a way like, this is my bar, so you should be giving at some point somewhere in between my expectations for myself and my standards.
I'm sorry, but anybody said like high standards, anything ain't shit, because I hold my standards right here because I hold myself right here. I hold you right here because I give you right here.
Yes.
I'm not ever asking for you to be up here when I'm down here, bitch.
No.
I'm up here with you. Okay? So get the fuck up here. Please.
Guys, we have Ellen DeGeneres here.
So good, because it's just so true. And ultimately, we go into relationships, they say this all the time, even if it's a subconscious thing for the most part, we enter into relationships to learn and to grow, and everything in life is a relationship. It's not just romantic, it's friendships, familial, work relationships, and in my opinion, relationships even with your hobbies, and for me, relationship with this earth, relationship with music, relationship with things that move you. These are all relationships, other
non-living things that give you like a sense of peace.
Yeah, and
that's
it's all
connection.
energy.
Because it's connection.
Exactly. And it's finding a way to integrate that in our lives and then learn from it. And it's so interesting because we put our personal, and you said something like that, we put in our own personal feelings and take things personally when we should just be observant too and flow through and learn from. Everything is a growing opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to just be in an influx of knowledge, and then how we could apply it to ourselves and the values that we have for ourselves. And we may not always align with these things, but that's our decision then to say and take what we want and leave what we don't.
Exactly.
This
is only the intro of this fucking episode. I haven't even gotten any sharing a lot of good energy, and we're learning a lot from each other. And in the same way that Jules taught Jencel epilepsy stuff today, reconnecting with Jencel actually taught me a lot about scoliosis.
No way!
Dude, dude, okay, so me and we go way back, right?
Yeah.
Since high school. And I have to say that I have gone through a lot of different relationships and friendships and everything in my life, and I really, really am never just mindlessly going through them. I really do absorb everything. And within the few relationships that stand out to me in my developmental years, this is one of them, because my memory is very foggy right now.
I'm not gonna lie, same.
Yeah, but if I think about you, all I remember is going to your house, walking to the park, hanging out with your mom, and then your dad taking us or whatever it is. It's just
it's crazy,
right?
Because I feel the same way. It's very foggy too, but I just remember
it's good.
spending those moments, those quality moments. I remember your brother introducing these shrimp chips on your
Oh
couch.
my god!
And I just remember spending time at your place and just being so present.
Yeah. And I always, if I ever think about you, that's why it bro, whenever, because I always say this, I had a period of years where I disconnected from everyone from high school since we graduated, and I would find everyone's social media again, and I remember finding yours, and I'm like, oh my god, Jencel is alive, she's so beautiful, it's amazing, and then I just kept watching.
I felt the same way when I saw yours. I was like, look at God, she's so strong. Look at her tats. I'm like, I want that level of confidence. She's just so amazing.
She's so strong,
dude. I love that. No, I feel the same way.
Just kidding. She's soft right now. but so then we finally get to actually reconnect in person. And
so
dude, it's so fucking crazy, because if I think about it now, I feel like I have had memories of knowing that you had scoliosis. Yeah. But now it's such a big part of your life, because the way that you explained it to me is I never even fucking knew scoliosis was this condition that could kind of take over everything, right? And in the same way that I never, because I don't have these things, so I would never be able to think about them without actually encountering them. Yeah, so in the same way that I had never thought about how lonely it is for Jules to go through seizures and having all of these different episodes and stuff, never thought about what the actual physical conditions of your body does to your brain.
Yeah, and how it impacts it.
Yeah, and so it makes so much sense. And so while reconnecting, we were talking about what Jencel does and what she's been up to and stuff, and then she started talking about scoliosis, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
What?
It's crazy. So I'll definitely segue into that. I think right now, so scoliosis is something that I was diagnosed with at a young age, probably 11, 12 years old. And it's just a developmental condition that, in fact, a lot of people have.
Yeah, a lot of people do actually.
And it's
So I just introduced Jencel to our social media manager, and this is the first episode that Stephanie is sitting in on, and she's no way, I have scoliosis too.
A lot of people have it. So it's prominent most in women, but a lot of men also have scoliosis.
Why is everything fucking in women?
Yeah, I know, right? So it's because it's a genetic, not even a genetic thing. It's something that's spontaneous. It'll happen just acutely out of nowhere.
You're so lucky.
I know. I was blessed with this spontaneous condition.
She's like, me? You mean it?
No way. But I'll have those habits. It doesn't make me that unique. But everyone has it to a different magnitude. And so when I was diagnosed with it at a young age, all I had from specialists was a back brace. So I basically slept in this brace that was to help the curvature not progress as much from when they caught it to when I had it. And given I was a kid, I didn't like sleeping in it, so oftentimes I wouldn't. Yeah. And there's really no cure for scoliosis, just treatments to alleviate the symptoms that you experience. So once I stopped growing at around 15 years old, well, that was it. Sent into the world with nothing else, no information on scoliosis. You fast forward 10 years and we just are fighting gravity every single day, and that's pressure that is put onto our spine. And then being, physically athletic and just doing whatever it is, going to the gym, you are putting more stress on your spine. And what I have learned recently is that through our spine are all these other types of connections internally that our body is trying to communicate
send signals
and send signals through the spine itself. And I basically went to my PCP, and she said, you have scoliosis, you're gonna live with pain for the rest of your life. And mind you, the pain that I was experiencing, though it was not excruciating because I know that other people have it worse, what I was experiencing was dull, persistent, consistent pain where it would take me hours to fall asleep at night. It would hurt to just wash my face, brush my hair, and it was so just crazy. This lingering pain that I had every single day, and I didn't realize how it was impacting other areas of my life that I was just not aware of. I was just like, I have this lower back pain and there's something going on. And my PCP just tried to prescribe me, pain meds. And I was like, that's not the avenue of which I want to treat this condition. And so I did my own research, found a chiropractor in my area that it really just changed my life. I didn't know that there was other things bleeding into my scoliosis. Like, for example, I had this really acute form of vertigo.
Oh, wow.
And
vertigo sucks, dude.
Sucks. Yeah. It's this like dizziness that then just like takes over your body, and it's really hard to operate under those conditions. And I didn't know it all has to do with your spine, but I was just having like weird mobility issues where I wasn't even able to look to the left this way or look to the right with just my eyes. I would have to turn my full body or my full head because I was experiencing this like acute migraine pressure. And within just a few treatments, within the first few weeks, my pain was alleviated and I was able to turn and look around like a normal person. But within 2 months of receiving aggressive treatment, I didn't even know that the spine can move. I had a 33-degree curvature that went down to a 28-degree curvature.
Wait, you can fix it like that?
Yes, bro! Who knew this? I didn't know this. I thought it was magic. I said, why?
She said, I thought it was magic.
I literally was so excited in the office and was just like, why don't people talk about this? And honestly, people don't talk about it because insurances don't promote it.
Exactly.
And when we have to put ourselves in a position to understand that in this world we are consumers.
Yes.
We are not
especially in this country, this capitalistic motherfucker.
We're individualistic as a society, meaning that we only want to see ourselves grow. And so insurances are a corporation. They're for other corporations that are growing, not for the consumer, us individuals. Mm-hmm. So we have to be able to do our own research. And I always say this, please do your own research and make sure. I never even take anything from my doctors or from my medicals. I always make sure that I go home and I do my own research. And of course, a Google search isn't going to go anywhere unless you're looking at actual articles of research and studies
and stuff
that back this information. And ultimately, when you look at it, chiropractic care is only a service. There's no product to be sold, so that's a lack of, and that's why insurances don't promote it, because there's not enough to make from it.
Yeah.
And so luckily my insurance did cover it, and I was able to receive this care. And the more that I came to understand how it impacts other factors in your life, not only is it just physically, but the way that you wake up in the morning. It's linked to a lot of different mood disorders.
Yes.
And I did not know this. You just wake up with this influx of energy, at least that was my experience, to not have this pain anymore. And quite honestly, pain is not something that we should be living with. Again, because we're individualistic in this society and we believe that we have competition and that we have to grow from, and there's this level of success that's measured monetarily with money. And ultimately, we're fighting ourselves every single day. Yeah. We're wanting to improve ourselves every single day, and I kind of lost my train of thought with that. Going for it.
Well, luckily you reminded me of something.
Tell me.
So I actually, in research of just making the outline for this episode, I really wanted to go a little deeper as to why these conditions cause such mental difficulties, right? And I guess again, for people that don't ever actually suffer from this physical condition, this would never occur to you. But I found this article that has it lists a couple of conditions that of like quality of life issues that scoliosis impacts like happen on the impact of people's lives. And like you never think about this, but it all makes sense. And it says, according to a numerous studies cited in the review, people with scoliosis have a higher rate of the following mental health conditions or quality of life issues. And I want you to like speak on this if it touches you. And also, Stephanie, give me a nod if this shit applies to you, baby. But all of these, it lists a lower rate of social participation, lower rates of marriage, poor self-image, negative self-talk, difficulties finding and keeping jobs, depression, anxiety, and personality disorder. Stephanie is nodding all of this, baby. I love it.
No, that's absolutely
And it makes so much sense if you think about it and dissect it. Like lower rates of social participation. And I feel like that ties into the poor self-image and negative self-talk and like depression, anxiety. Yeah. Because you have a condition that is so physically like
exhausting.
Yeah, like holding on
body.
you. There's no way that like, and this is what the big haha moment is, like anything that is physically difficult, I think will be a million times mentally more difficult.
Draining.
Yeah, because it's not really like your body, and I say this all the time, your body is always stronger than what you think you are. You are always stronger than what you think you are. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Your body knows. Your body does not need you to live, bro. Your body knows how to do it.
It's our brain that tells us to operate.
It's organs, everything. Your reaction, like your fucking inflammation, it's your body literally communicating to you. So your body is so fucking smart, right? But it's your fucking like mentality and your mind that is harder to get over and to work on.
Absolutely right.
Because it's not something that you can like physically take out with your hands and then train. You literally are like.
So I'll break it down from what I've learned, and again, please do your own research. But when I was coming into the position that I'm in with my chiropractor, what I've been learning about the nervous system is that I mentioned before, it's nervous impulses that are attempting to be communicated throughout your body. So the nervous system, as a refresher, operates and controls all of your organs, all of your structure and muscles in your body. So everything stems back down to your spine. And so when there's pressure put onto our spine, it lacks the ability to communicate with other parts to then operate at its highest performance and, like you said, the best quality of. And so by adjusting the spine, we're then allowing that communication to flow easier, have better circulation, have improved mood, and it's tied into different things like intestinal issues and other things. Every part of our pain that we feel on a daily basis. And so the only thing that controls our nervous system is our brain. So it's very difficult if we're experiencing these pains and we're ignoring it because we believe that resilience is something to be praised by having this pain. It's like, no, listen to our bodies, put yourself first, confront what it is that you're experiencing, because that's discipline. That's mind over matter. That's being able to say that I care so much about my well-being that I'm going to listen and look at the things that are wrong so that I can make a difference. And when you have that mindset to be able to put aside the things that you feel are stigmas in this world, you're then really able to get to this different place. And I'm looking at those symptoms again. It's absolutely true. Like, ultimately, the way that you show up every day, if you're having to experience these physical pains, then you're not seeing yourself in the best manner, and then you're not able to, for me, pour into other people and give to my community, because it's like there's a lacking within.
But even like with the difficulties finding and keeping jobs, it makes sense because you're going through so much turmoil within yourself. It's hard to focus, it's hard to balance your emotion, it's hard to like do all of these things that regular fucking people with no back pain already have problems doing. Like, I don't got shit going on, and I'm leaving work early because I can't stop crying. Like, come on, you know? It's so hard.
My biggest thing in life is I am working through this level of almost like shame, because when I find myself in these places of low like self-image where I ultimately always want to pour into other people, I almost like seclude myself from engagements with the closest people in my life, and unfortunately it is a pattern that I'm trying to break, where I push the people that I love most out because I know that there's something going on within that I'm not confronting yet. And it's something that
sounds about right.
It's something like even having just a platform like this to create such a safe space, which again I never mentioned, but I'm really honored to be here. I'm really grateful to be here because what you guys are doing is so important, and it's a lot of it goes untold because in this society, especially that with men, is that these kinds of things are just taboo, and that we shouldn't talk about our emotions, and as if our emotions don't play or take a toll in every single day life and how we show up. And so with that, I'm just really grateful.
I'm grateful, bitch. This is another crazy, I'm so sorry, I just want to read this one crazy thing. It says, one 2014 study of 19-year-old Korean males even showed a higher incidence of schizophrenia than the general population.
Wow, that's insane.
I know.
So true.
Dude, like, and you don't think about it, but like, again, I just cannot imagine. I'm a regular ass person. I have a really healthy fucking body, and I'm so grateful for it. And bro, I am struggling. Like, I cannot
not struggling. I'm struggling.
That's the new merge. Struggling.
Like L-I-N-G.
Yeah, literally. But I have a question for you, super off topic, but what is your ethnicity?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just Puerto Rican?
Yeah, so I mean, I was born in like South Florida, Miami area, but both of my parents, and my parents were both born over there, so I take the culture and the roots. Where are you from?
I love that. I'm from Florida too.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's also Puerto Rican.
I was gonna ask, like, what's your heritage?
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican too.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So right now, what you do for work, because you are living with this condition and you're also working a lifestyle and career field that is like treating towards like this and everything, and you're so involved in wellness.
Which I love.
How do you like just keep yourself balanced every day with everything that goes on? Like, what's your like self-talk routine, yo? I'm about to ask all our guests this question. What is your self-talk routine?
What is your self-talk?
Because I have like 17 different ones depending on the mood.
It really, like you said, is exactly that, depending on the mood that I'm in. Thankfully, I can find myself waking up in a higher frequency where I'm just able to pour into myself. Doesn't always happen like that, but I find different avenues to really like fill my own cup. It's not always easy. There's a lot of times where I definitely am almost just finding back into that negative self-talk pattern. But what helps me is like I write on my mirror really encouraging things that if maybe a partner would say to me, I can say to myself. Like calling myself beautiful, or saying good morning gorgeous, or saying you got this, because you do. It's just like walking into your day. And I just love seeing those messages, and they interchange. I'll erase them and put something new if there's something in my day. I love listening to podcasts, yours especially.
I'm so grateful.
It's just
so honored.
I think surrounding yourself around like-minded people, and really just valuing who you are. And I think for me is recently what I've been trying to do is put up more mirrors in my space, because the more I'm able to look at myself, the more I'm able to encourage myself.
I love that you're saying this, because a full point of the point that I was gonna circle back around to end this episode with is radical self-acceptance.
Oh my God, yes, it's
radical
so hard. I'm not gonna lie, and that's kind of the gracious thing that I was saying before, is like giving yourself grace for the mistakes that we've made, because we only knew what we knew in that moment, and we can't penalize ourselves for information we didn't know that we know now. Like that was a past us, and this is a present us, and we're only trying to learn and grow, and there's always more information to learn. But radical self-acceptance is, for me, if I'm not looking at myself and engaged with like what's going on, it's hard for me to be that encouraging light within. So setting up more mirrors and saying, you got this, bitch, you're a bad bitch, and you got this shit. And yeah, I mean, it's not always easy, and I think it's okay that there's moments for us for it to not be okay.
That's what makes it human.
We're human. Going through the experience.
Exactly.
That's the point.
Exactly. You know what's so funny? Like, I have a lot of fucking like intimacy issues. So I hold myself at I hold myself on a different island. Okay, so like everybody else is everywhere else. I'm on like a separate island, and you cannot get to my true self unless like you are like in my fucking like little ass circle, right? And I don't necessarily like that I do that, because all of these years I thought that that's what I like to hold. I thought that that's how I like to hold myself, like up ass. And it's a good image and whatever, because people perceive me however they perceive me, and it's fine. But then I have a lot of fucking trouble feeling like people don't actually care about me because they don't whatever, but like how the fuck can they if they can't even poke into like my life, you know? And so like right now my radical self-acceptance is the fact that, okay, so I just recently went through this situation, right? And in hindsight, I realized that I put myself exactly in the perfect space to be in that situation, because I deny that I have any issues at all, because in my mind, it's like, that's not a safe space to be, so I'm not even gonna go near it, right? And but I long for it so hard. So I put myself in a situation where I didn't want to be intimate with somebody, right? But I was, and I was denying that I wanted it at all, like verbally denying it and telling myself that I don't want it, while my actions were all like holding on to hopes, you know, like it was just like two different planes. And I realize now that I denied myself of the truth of myself. So like, instead of actually saying, okay, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, this is how I feel about this person, and this is where I put myself as, and yeah, it's a really vulnerable place and we might get hurt, but this is where I am. Instead of doing any of that, I literally held myself where they held themselves at. So like emotionally unavailable, not giving you anything, and just giving you the bare minimum. And I realize now that I was only doing that to protect myself while longing for the opposite result. And so my radical self-acceptance is like, hun, like you have to accept that you are human. You are going to do what you tell your girlfriends not to do. You are going to act like how you told your girlfriends not to act. And it is gonna fucking suck, and it is gonna hurt. But unless you actually admit that you are that, you're never gonna get anywhere, because you think that you're holding yourself in a different place. But you're not. You're lying to yourself. I'm literally lying to myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's where radical self-acceptance comes from.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, so with radical self-acceptance, I also think radical self-honesty.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Like being
you have to
really honest with yourself and the people around you. So by doing more of this, it's extremely vulnerable. And with the vulnerability, you are putting yourself in a position to get hurt.
Yeah.
You have to be able to be okay in that.
You literally have to like still be like, fuck it, we ball, baby.
We
like,
ball together. Like,
yo,
and
I've been going,
I've
I've been going to work so fucking depressed these past couple days, and I think I have arrived at my like last stages of grief, which is like anger and acceptance. So I'm like fucking angry, but like I'm walking out the door like, fuck it, we balling. We're balling. We're fucking balling right now.
Like that's the thing, is that we're always going through a like grief period, and like it's okay for us to retract in those stages of grief. Like ultimately, it's gonna be radical self-acceptance, but things don't always look linear.
No,
like,
you know why? Because your ego is still in there. Your ego is part of the radical self-acceptance.
Aside, and the more honest we are with ourselves and with the people around us, because the hardest part that I find is being honest with myself is easy.
But that's
for me, and
I'm the opposite.
But being honest with other people about like really to the core of what I'm going through, and like I'll talk about the things that I'm happy to talk about it, but to the core, to really show like the full vulnerability is gonna be for me the hardest part, because those are the people that love me most and that know that I have these standards and expectations for myself. So it's like these people are like, well, why are you even doing those things? And it's like it's this back and forth within myself of like being that honest is only going to, yes, put ourselves in a vulnerable state, but it's also only going to attract like-minded people. The more we talk about these things, the more we're allowing and accepting other things that align with our values to come into our life.
Exactly.
And that's kind of how this world works.
That's how this whole reconnection works.
Yeah, because it's all connected. For me, everything is all connected. How you show up and what you put in. Something I heard that someone else did on a podcast is that they try to be so aware of how they show up that every single time they walk through a door, they always say, I'm reset. How can I offer myself, and how can I give, and how can I show up differently? And whatever I had going on is outside that door. Yeah. Just like yesterday. Just like all of our past, we're reset every single day. We're supposed to be able to show up every single day as the person that we want to be, because that is the person that we are. Yes. And I was just so inspired by that, because it's so much easier said than done.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. Because we have that cup and we have meters or social meters of engagement that we get drained easy. But if we allow ourselves to be so present and to experience the emotions that we're able to really just ground ourselves and learn from it. And again, so much easier.
Speaking of learning, I think I'm ready to do my favorite segue.
Let's go, baby.
What's that?
So I renamed it. So last week, we started a segment called Quit That Bitch, where we are holding ourselves accountable for something that we're trying to quit, whether it's a pattern, a habit, anything at all. But by saying it out loud to other people, you are having them hold you accountable, and you are holding yourself accountable because you put this shit out loud.
Okay.
But I renamed it so Quit That Shit.
Quit that shit.
Because it rhymes better.
Yeah, quit that shit.
And so for this week's Quit That Shit, mine is not something that I'm aspiring to. I just want to announce this. I actually did quit this shit. This toxic ass relationship, non-relationship, whatever the fuck that I was in, I fucking quit that shit.
I'm so happy for you.
And I'm only celebrating because I'm so proud of myself. Even though I put myself in a completely okay, so anyways, so I think that everyone and their fucking mother has gotten themselves into this situation, and everybody knows what this is, right? To where you're in a situation where it's not defined, it's not anything, you're purely going off vibes, and no one is holding anybody accountable, but you're hanging out, you're getting emotionally vulnerable with each other, you're emotionally connecting, and then one person will go and break it off, and the other person is just gonna stand there and cry, and I was that person just to stand there and cry. And the reason why, I talk about all of this like this in hindsight is because this isn't something new to me. It's a situation that I'm repeating because I haven't put myself vulnerably in a romantic space in years. And so the first one back is the exact same shit. But you know why? It's because no matter how much I work on myself individually, it's going to be different when it's involved with somebody else. And I haven't healed any of the fucking past patterns and whatever. So when I got with this person was the exact, not only was he a mirror of me and all of my issues, but also he was much worse. And he just wasn't a good person. And so that doesn't put me in a good place to be in, because I am emotionally just lost everywhere, because mentally and logically I know that I should go, but now I'm emotionally involved and I don't want to, and I'm hanging on to hopes. And with that being said, that's why I said I surrendered to this fucking L. I take this L. I fully fucking take it, because I'd rather be here accepting it than,
1, 2, 3. Quit that shit.
I fucking quit it. I did it.
I'm really proud of you, because that takes a lot of self-awareness to get out of a situation like that, because we ultimately, unfortunately, accept the love that we think we deserve.
It's hard.
And it's hard because it's a real radical self-reflection of we don't deserve
no, and that was the radical acceptance, and that's why it was such a hard pill to swallow, because I knew all of this shit. I knew everything I was ignoring, but just for it to work out exactly how I knew it was gonna work out, and to fucking have to look at those things and be real with it, I know that I put more meaning into things that I shouldn't have. I know that I acted upon instinct, and so I allowed myself to feel and do what I feel. And this person just happened to not take accountability for everything that we feel, and he just invalidated everything that was actually happening. And it's very gaslighting, but yeah, I can sit here and fucking cry about it, but I can also realize that it's not personal. It's not me. I didn't do this shit to him. He chooses to act how he acts because that's how he is. Mm-hmm. It's literally not me. I'm here and I deserve better. Yes. And that's why it fucking sucks. I deserve better, but I took less. Yeah. But no more, baby.
But no more, baby.
We're free. Yeah, we're free. And the hard part about that too, and I don't know if you resonate with it, but it's almost like the more time that we invest, it's like the harder it is, because you're like, I spent all this time working for and I really believed in, but the thing is, like, you cannot believe in the thought or like potential of someone.
Women put too much fucking potential into things. Because we see, and this is good. Yeah, like this is something that I struggle with. I'm so fucking what is the word? Gullible. Because like
me too.
Because and like I choose to like. It's almost like I choose to be gullible because I refuse to like not give you the benefit of the doubt first. Because like, why the fuck would I assume the worst of you? I don't fucking know. But then people just prove me wrong.
It's almost like be able to accept people for who they are the first time they show you.
Yeah.
That's gonna
what they say and what they show, believe that shit.
Yeah. What they say and how they show up. Yeah. It's like your actions speak so much louder than words, and you can be saying sweet nothings in my ears, but the way that you show up is inconsistent with your word, then take it. Yep. Take it, like expose it, communicate it, and if it's gaslighted and it's belittled, then there you go. That's your answer. We are so capable of making those decisions. It's just hard to move out of it, especially if there's a level of attachment and time invested.
Exactly. And a fucking dog, bro.
You said it.
What about you? What do you want to quit? Let's
God.
Quit that shit.
Quit that shit.
Quit it.
Currently, there's a lot of things.
It's just one though.
Let's see. The most recent one that I'm trying to quit is, I don't know which one I want to share. I could share both, but
say it up.
Well, one of the ones that I want to share is basically kind of everything that we've been talking about, and being more aware of my own self-talk, and quit that shit in the sense of negative self-talk, like quit doing that, especially if give yourself the advice you would give others. Like, you're a bad bitch, you're doing the things, you're accountable, you're showing up, and you have days that sure you just want to sit on the couch, but allow yourself that. You needed that time to recharge. So it's almost just like quit being so hard on yourself and give yourself more grace. And I have these like loops where I was doing that for a period of time and it's like, yeah, I'm like feeling great, and then it's like something traumatic happens, and then you're just like, why did I let myself go through that for so long? And it's ultimately on no one else but you, and that's my biggest thing, is allowing myself the grace to just accept myself and be happy with myself, and from there it's like you can grow. And then the second thing that I'm like, quit that shit that I've been doing good about is not smoking on my own. Because smoking
I cannot say the same.
That's okay. That's perfectly okay, because we're all so different.
My thug is my best friend, and he just texted me yesterday. You've been smoking a lot more. Is everything okay?
So I was like about my journey with marijuana. So
we love her.
We love her because she, for me, was an escape, was a way to not feel my feelings, and I love that because because sometimes I know that I'm a lot.
Yeah. Radical
self-acceptance. But I know I'm a lot, and I'm okay with that now. But emotionally, I have so much going on in my head, and there's so much for me to analyze, and there's so much of this world that I love and I'm so curious about, and it can be overwhelming. So when I'm not reciprocated that same energy, it does feel lonely, it does feel isolating, and in a way, like, it's like, okay, let's just smoke and clear those thoughts, and I no longer care to talk about it.
Yep.
So I was using that for a while to basically get away from the problems that needed to be talked about. And over time for me personally, and it's different for everyone, it just increased my level of anxiety because I was just not talking about things, and I was so anxious, and it was really hard for me. And don't get me wrong, I love smoking because it's like so much fun. But I only use it now socially. So when I'm with people and it's like in a gathering or whatever, and someone wants to smoke, then I'll do it. But on my own, I really need to sit in my thoughts and just do it. And I've been doing it for a few months now.
I'm so proud of you. That's
you.
really awesome. That's a hard thing too because I do struggle with that. Like I think that I tell myself that everybody has a vice and this is just mine. And like there are times where I think that it's okay to tell myself this, which is that, dude, like it's okay that sometimes there are things that exist and you use it to pass the time or whatever it is. Like it's alright. Sometimes it's alright, you know. It's just what
it really is.
Yeah,
and I think it still is alright.
Yeah.
I have no judgment whatsoever for people who do because I still use weed. Like I still absolutely will engage, especially if I'm in a situation where I'm like, I don't want to. There's like a level of like I can get very high where I'm like dissociated. I will not speak with you. But there's also like this like right sweet spot where
where it's like more
extremely
fun.
talkative. Yeah,
everything is just a little more fun. Like scrolling on your phone is just a little bit more
that's
funny.
What I mean. And I will engage to that level, and I'm just setting boundaries within myself. So I absolutely am like, it's a natural vice. So go for it. There's other worse ways. Yeah, there's other worse ways. So I completely, I don't knock it at all. But yeah.
What is you quitting, Shawty?
Okay. As much as I fill into other people, I want to start filling into myself.
Yes.
I think it's just reevaluating boundaries. So like
for sure.
Before you think about how bad of a friend you are being to your friend, think of how good of a friend you're being to yourself first and see if that shit matches up. Like you can't be a good friend to your friends if you're not a good friend to yourself. Yeah. Because eventually it will catch up and you're not gonna be able to keep up that whatever it is that you're showing to your friends because you're literally draining yourself from it. Like
it's exhausting.
Yeah, like what I learned now is like sometimes I'm like, damn, I really should check up on this person more, or like, damn, I really should whatever. But then I think about myself and I'm like, bro, like I didn't even ask myself how I'm doing. How am I gonna go and like ask this person like and then be there for them? Yeah. How am I actually gonna be there for them? You know what I'm saying?
It's like you literally can't because there's nothing to give.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
This has truly been the best.
I know.
I feel so refreshed.
I told Johnny in the beginning of this recording, like, I only want every episode to go 45 minutes to an hour. And then he gave me the 45-minute mark, and I literally was like, we just did our intro, dog.
No
we
way.
didn't even get into the topic. So I don't give a fuck no more. The vibes will carry it all.
Yay.
So this really has been, like, the most fun. You are our first official video guest. Like, ever.
No way.
Ever.
I'm so honored.
Dude, no, I'm even more honored. And our thing is like, we are reaching back out to like a couple of our old guests and having them back on. And that was the first idea. But then you said that you were available, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited that this was our first like video.
Yay! Oh my god! Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I mean, I really just appreciate again the space and you guys just showing up the way that you are. It's hard to find a lot of authentic people, but the more that you talk about the things, the more you attract, and that's exactly why we're all here. So thank you. Thank you so much.
I really hope that you guys felt every fucking ounce of energy in this recording because it was.
I certainly felt that. Like my heart was.
I feel like
so many times, and I was like, okay, girl, breathe.
In the beginning, when we were recording with different mics, I was always very like conscious of how we were gonna sound, if we were gonna be too loud, screaming in people's ears and shit. And the more that I watch other people's fucking podcasts and they act the way that they do today, I feel like I really let myself go and I was screaming and I felt good.
I love to scream. I'm Puerto Rican, so I get loud. Yeah, I be screaming sometimes. It's good. It's just your authentic self, so be it.
For sure.
I love it. Yay! And please tell the people where they can find you and also get into like your practice and everything if they need help with
absolutely.
chiropractic.
I just honestly reach out to me. I'm happy to share information. I'm not like the only social media platform that I use is Instagram, and it's just Jencel like with an I, so my name.
We'll put it in there.
Yeah, so I'm happy to give you more information. Just reach out, and we can talk about all the things.
Yay, I love that. Yeah. And we are now on TikTok, guys.
Yeah! Oh my god!
That's
awesome.
Can you believe it? Con is
I
making
know.
reels.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you guys. Yes, you're doing the thing.
So we are now on TikTok at Mental Chillness 11. Give us a follow, like, share the videos, whatever you feel like you need to do to get the word out there.
And please subscribe to our YouTube. Please share the link. Please let everybody in your life know that if they're looking for a cool online hangout space,
this is it.
This is it.
This is literally
Come to
it.
Mental Chillness.
You'll
baby.
cry, you'll laugh, you'll giggle a little.
You will laugh about all the things that you are crying about.
That's the point.
That's literally what we're doing.
Yeah, you have to laugh through the pain because
Exactly.
how else are we going to?
Yo, dude,
You know?
I'm literally at work, like fucking, like I swear, I'm like having like something's going on because I'm like so okay. I'm at work, fucking like at my table, serving them whatever. Run back to the computer, starts crying immediately. Wipes my tears, run back to my table. Like I wasn't just fucking crying.
No, yeah.
Like
Something's going on.
it's
but
something
okay.
is going on,
Yeah.
but we will figure it out.
There we go.
But please keep up with us and please leave us comments, reviews, ratings. All of that is gonna help us a lot, and we appreciate it so much. And you can find us on Instagram at mentalchillness.podcast. Facebook is Mental Chillness Podcast. Jules' Instagram is lots of Jules with 2 S's.
Ooh.
And I am Mega Motherfucking Con, but that's not the actual name, it's just Mega Con. So we will see you next week, everyone.